Radio Show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals and Bonds hits one high. It's a dig.
A little feedback.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner.
Do the Titans have.
You're rocking with the newest radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals and Bonds hits one high. It's a dig.
Remix.
Trainer right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Going to be fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25. Pitches it back to Wycheck. He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something. He's got something. 50. He's got it. 40. He's got it. 20. 10. He's got it. End zone. Touchdown Titans. There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle.
Sports Radio. It's the greatest sports talk show host in the business. The dynamic duo. Your host, John Intel and Daniel Mercado.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are at the end of January. It's the 27th, another beautiful Wednesday. You're listening here on HamiltonRadio.net, simulcast on Facebook. I'm joined by my partner in crime, Daniel Mercado. What's going on, brother?
Holla, what's going on? And we are joined by today, thank you very much for making the trip down here, Andy Williams from Simply Sports.
What's up, Andy?
What's going on, bro?
Good to be back, gentlemen. Good to be back.
Great to have you, bud.
Yeah, it's great to be back here. Great to be back on the air. And I'm ready to do the damn thing.
Bro,
right.
let me tell you, I'm ready. I'm ready to do the damn thing. There's a lot of damn things to do.
Hey,
Oh, man.
yes.
Bro,
Am I going to have to reel you in again?
we have a recap of the AFC and NFC Championship game.
Yes.
Let's do it.
We're going to talk about the upcoming Super Bowl, the future, and the GOAT. Go at it head to head, mano y mano. Okay?
Absolutely phenomenal matchup. I can't wait for this.
We have another big name free agent signed in Real Muto, and we have one left in Trevor Bauer. And why is he still on the market? That's another. We have the Baseball Hall of Fame debacle.
Wow.
That's another.
We also have some breaking news that came out of the Mets organization. Similar.
Yeah, well, not really.
Not
the Mets-
really,
yeah.
but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that.
Yes.
Possible.
But listen, guys, I'm excited to get going. I'm gonna ruin my entire afternoon, and I want to start with baseball. I want to start with the Hall of Fame, guys. I am recently across the board with all sports.
Yeah.
I've seen the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Naismith Hall of Fame. You know, wherever you're looking at the major sports, okay?
Right.
Sometimes it gets a little watered down as the years go on because you start to see names that you're like, do they really deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Right? So you're sort of you're left scratching your head and thinking, we probably could have done without him.
Absolutely.
Okay. Then you come to a point in time where you have guys like Curt Schilling, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, who all can't get in the Hall of Fame. But let me tell you, it's not even that I'm upset about them not getting in the Hall of Fame. I'm upset about why they're not getting in the Hall of Fame. So as I'm watching the last few days unfold, it is very, very clear to me that baseball and its way of voting has completely deteriorated into a duty show. I want to say the other word, but I'm going to say duty show.
Cacas.
Okay, cacas. And it's a bunch of people, writers, and social media that dictate how you get into the Hall of Fame. And Dan and Andy, what I am most ticked off about is the fact that a guy like Curt Schilling, who has never disrespected the game for 1 minute on the field, not one.
A gentleman on and off the field, 100%.
Well, I wouldn't say off, but on the field.
Eh.
On the field, no doubt. Everyone knows where his political views are. The guy was he's a major conservative. He was a major Trumpster, okay? He has come out and said things against social media, and he said some borderline sketchy things. But let me tell you something. You're not voting the guy based on character. You're voting for what he did during the game.
And it's
Is
got
Curt
nothing to
Schilling
do
a Hall
with
of
his
Famer?
views.
Is Curt Schilling a Hall of Famer?
100%.
And is
Andy,
Curt-
Yes.
So how is he not in the Hall of Fame?
Okay. Well, first let's backtrack here. Curt Schilling finished, what was it, 15 or 16 votes short, which is still
Yeah, what do you have, 71%?
71.1%. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens had 62%, which pretty much absolutely nullifies their chance next year when they're last year on the ballot. But after this vote, Curt Schilling said basically after he saw this was like, I have more trust in the Veterans Committee than I do in baseball writers.
Wow.
Dude, there's no way you're watching baseball right now with everything going on. There's no way you're watching baseball and you're taking this seriously. Dude, the Hall of Fame in every sport is sacred,
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely.
No matter Bonds, Sosa, McGuire, it doesn't matter. A-Rod, it doesn't matter. The fact is, wow, we have a phone call already. Incredible.
Already, let's
That
do
didn't
it.
take
Well,
long.
the caller's got to hold because let me finish what I'm about to
Oh,
say.
yeah, this is good.
The fact is these guys during a stretch of time in the game, Rafael Palmeiro, okay? During this time, these guys were up against everybody else who was also using steroids. Roger Clemens was, now I'm not going to say he was on record, but there was reports of him using HGH, okay? If you have Roger Clemens on HGH against Barry Bonds on HGH, I don't care who wins the battle.
It shouldn't matter.
It's phenomenal TV.
It
Absolutely.
shouldn't matter.
The last time, bro, before the strike in 94.
Now that's an even playing field, no?
Yes.
That's what we talked about.
Before the strike in 94, before 96, okay?
Roger Clemens was the best pitcher in Major League Baseball, and it wasn't even close.
Bar none.
Absolutely.
Bar none. Okay? And then let's talk about McGuire and Sosa. The fact of the matter is before 96, when they went on their run, I could remember it like it was yesterday. I'm in the kitchen. We're living in the previous town we were in. I'm at home. My mom, who's not a sports fan, all right? We're both watching TV together to watch McGuire break the record. We're watching Sosa, McGuire hug. There's never been a more galvanizing moment other than when Piazza hit the home run post 9/11, okay? There's never been a more galvanizing moment inside of a household with sports than when those guys were chasing the home run record.
Yeah.
If you're telling me that anybody cared, we knew they were on steroids. You think I care if he's corking his bats? Come on, bro. I'm tired of watching the same thing every single year, and I'm tired of listening to the same thing every single year. It's a bunch of people with too much power, with too much entitlement, getting to vote on a person's whole career and determining whether or not, because they're nice guys, they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Dude, you can take that and shove it right up your ass because I don't particularly care, not one bit, what you have to think. Curt Schilling stepped on a mound with blood coming out of his sock because his stitches were ripping off the guy's foot.
And he pitched 8 strong.
A gem.
Absolutely.
At Yankee
if you can,
Stadium.
If you can tell the story of baseball without talking about that bloody sock game, it's historical in the game of baseball.
Absolutely.
This is, as a matter of fact, this is a baseball travesty. And I'm very upset with the MLB for not putting these guys in
Right.
after well deserved.
No, dude. The MLB should be. It goes further. That right now, Rob Manfred should look at this and say, it is as clear as day. Your political views and affiliations is what kept you out of the Hall of Fame. Nothing else. Nothing else. Pete Rose is out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his team to win the game. He bet on his team to win the game, and the greatest hitter in the history of baseball is not in the Hall of Fame.
Still to this day holds the record. Bananas. I can't believe it.
And you're keeping out another great for something that happened outside the sport, nothing in. I don't care if he looked. I do not care if he looked at a news reporter right in the face and said, "You're trash, bro, and you mean nothing to me. Your points of views mean nothing to me." Bro, it's all a matter of opinion.
Other sport players are doing it now.
It's all a matter of opinion, a la Kyrie Irving. So let me tell you something.
Hello.
Just because your feelings are hurt, I know it's 2020, and you can get away just because your feelings are hurt, and there's probably a group we can throw you in because you're a pansy. I get it, dude. But can we get past this stage for 1 minute and do somebody their due justice and put this guy into the Hall of Fame? Kurt Schilling, dude, honestly, Kurt Schilling should be like, you know what? Don't put me in the Hall of Fame. I don't want the veterans to put me in the Hall of Fame. I'm better than the Hall of Famers. And if Kurt Schilling said that, I'd get right on board with it. And what I want to do is I want to say thank you to everyone who's with us right now. Sal Angeletti, Steve Hinchman, what's going on? Fred DeRose, Daniel Pena, my grandmother Ziva, how are you doing? John Gonzalez, Johnny Butters, everyone is in the building. We are
What's
rocking and
happening?
rolling. We are starting out
Hi.
strong. Daniel Pena, you are correct. He said at this point, assume everyone was on something. But now I'm going to ask you this.
Sure.
I want your opinions on this. Next year, you know who's on the docket?
Alex Rodriguez and Big Poppy.
Both of them
Juiced.
juiced. Now what happens? So let me ask you this. A-Rod is beloved in the baseball circles.
Absolutely.
Big Poppy is beloved in the baseball
Everywhere in
circles.
the world.
Yes.
Does he get in?
Poppy gets in, yes. A-Rod not right away.
So Poppy gets the first ballot and A-Rod doesn't.
I think Poppy does get the first ballot. Because basically, just based on, yes, his play, but also, too, he's going to go down as arguably the greatest designated hitter of all time. And,
Better than Edgar Martinez?
yes.
Wow.
100%.
Even I agree.
100%. It's not even close.
That's a hot take.
Especially with his postseason work. Are you kidding me? He led them to how many World Series championships in Boston?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's not even close.
Anthony Grandinetti Jr., what's going on, brother? Eric Mercado, what's going on? Welcome. I'm telling you this right
Mercado
now.
gang, what's good?
So, okay. So what you're telling me,
Yep.
they get in. Barry Bonds, the greatest home run hitter.
Has
Rest
to
in
rely-
peace, Hank Aaron.
Has-
Okay? We lost a great one.
Yes, we did.
Rest in peace, Hank Aaron. But the greatest home run hitter ever, with respect to Hank Aaron, of course,
Yes.
Barry Bonds, before, look at his statistical facts.
Oh,
Kerry
yes.
Mitchell, what's going on? Before, his numbers jumped up.
Yeah.
The guy was 500 home runs, 500 stolen
Yeah,
bases, first time in
absolutely.
history.
100.
He didn't need them. But Barry Bonds is he was a very cranky man, okay? The media did not like him, and there was reasons for that. He was very standoffish, okay? So Barry Bonds looked at Terry Simons, what's going on? Terry, the thing is people looked, Barry Bonds looked at McGuire and Sosa and said, I can't have this. They should not be what we're looking at as the pinnacle of the game, and Barry Bonds did his thing to make him next level, right?
Barry Bonds was one of the scariest hitters to go up against in baseball.
So what happens right now? Does
Should he be in?
Poppy
Yes, absolutely.
Does Big Poppy and A-Rod get in the Hall of Fame?
Poppy gets in, yes. Alex Rodriguez, I have a question over.
I like that they should both get
Oh, absolutely.
get in.
They should
100%,
both get
but
in.
I don't think
yes.
either one of them get in.
Really?
I think maybe in a year a year after they put everybody else in. That you might have three or four entrants.
I think David Ortiz is so beloved on and off the field.
I agree.
I believe he gets in on the first ballot.
But look at this. Look at what they're doing.
I understand that. I understand that. It is a joke. I'm not disagreeing with you at all 100%.
All right, go ahead and
All right, let's get. We have a caller.
Go ahead and patch the caller on through. We have a lot to handle. So
Absolutely.
hopefully whoever's on hold, let's get through.
And thank you for staying on hold.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely,
you
we
for staying on
appreciate it.
hold.
Welcome to My Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Who do we got on the phone?
Gentlemen,
Who's with us?
it is Pat Walsh calling in on the commute home.
Pat Walsh. What's up, brother, man?
What's going
Pat
on, Pat?
Walsh. What's good, kid? Talk to me.
So I couldn't be more happy that you started with baseball, because after everything that's been going on over the past week or two, there's a lot of hot takes going on out there.
A ton.
Absolutely.
So now
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you something, Pat. You're here with us,
Go ahead.
and first off, I'm gonna fire a few questions off at you.
Go for it.
Ultimately, does Curt Schilling, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens get into the Hall of Fame?
They 100% belong in the Hall of Fame. Are they going to get in? That's a different story.
Okay, next year.
I mean, now, but the point that I make to that is, now, Bonds and Clemens have, what, 1 year left on the ballot?
Yeah, next year is the last year, and right now, the way that the voting's set up, they both got 62% of the vote. So basically, they need another 50 to 60 votes by the writers.
To stay on past the year.
No,
for good,
to
for
get
good.
in.
That's it. To
For
get
good.
in. If not, they don't get in.
Oh, to get in. Correct. Now, Curt Schilling, listen, it's a travesty what's happening to him, because he's not getting voted in, and it has nothing to do with his baseball merit whatsoever.
That's correct.
He's not getting voted in because of what he said off the field. You said it perfectly, John. You know what? At the end of the day, these baseball purists, and I put big quotation marks on it,
big.
Yeah.
they care about that. Oh well, you know what? He was a little disparaging off the field, so you know what? He can't get in the Hall of Fame. But to look at his career and to see the numbers he put up in the postseason, not only with the Red Sox, but
With Arizona.
a lot of people forget the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2001, in year 5 of their expansion, beat the powerhouse New York Yankees in 7 games in the World Series, and
Yep.
Curt Schilling was a big part of that.
Pat, it was
Great point,
It's
brother.
you know what the craziest thing is? I was going to bring that point up, and what I was going to say about it was not only was Curt Schilling a big part, Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling both pitched 3 games in a 7-game series. 2 pitchers were in 6 of the 7 games, and now
Essentially anchored the whole team.
anchored the entire team.
Which has never ever happened in World Series history.
And the craziest part about it is
Exactly.
the craziest part about that is no matter which way you slice it, right now we know that there's inning limits. Starting pitchers don't go past 6-7 innings anymore. There's no workhorses. The workhorses died when Roy Halladay left the game. Curt Schilling, Roy Halladay, Randy Johnson were the last of a dying breed. The fact is these guys didn't worry about their careers, didn't worry about the longevity that they could play. They played to bring a championship to their team. They played for their team. They played for the love of the game. They played for their craft. Their craft was being the best pitcher they could possibly be on any given day. And the fact that the writers are keeping this guy out of the Hall of Fame is a travesty. And Rob Manfred needs to step in he needs to grow a set of coconuts, and he needs to come up and say, you know what? We need a total overhaul of the Hall of Fame voting system. Every 5 years, we need to revamp and give a new set of writers, media, whatever it may be, newspapers, whatever it is, we need to give a new set of people the ability to vote. Out with the old, in with the new. And I'm telling you right now, the baseball purists, like you said, I am so tired. I'm exhausted of watching TV and seeing guys like this get shafted because of the things that they did outside the sport. For God's sakes, Lawrence Taylor was molesting little children in hotels while snorting coke off their butt cheeks. And the guy's in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
I'm so tired of it, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't have that double-edged sword. You can't be two-sided on it. It's either they all go in because of their greatness on the field or not. And you know what? As I was growing up, I felt the same way. My father told me, no, it's all about the sport and it's all that. But even my father will tell you to this day, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. These guys should be in the Hall of Fame.
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame 100%, and there shouldn't even be a question.
100% agree. And you know what? It ties into the Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens thing that if you're going to make the exception for those guys, Pete Rose should be the first one to get that exception.
Yes, sir.
Because he belonged in the Hall of Fame 30 years ago.
Preach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one last question here. It's gonna be 1A. It's gonna be 1A and 1B before I'm gonna have you go and before we start getting back into the show, because we do have a full docket with Andy on the show here. So last question, which segues to a part B. Number 1. Does Big Papi and A-Rod make it into the Hall of Fame because they're liked? And 1B, is Big Papi a better DH than Edgar Martinez was, who was the only DH to go into the Hall of Fame? So answer us those two questions, then you can head on out.
All right. So to answer 1A, yes, Big Papi, I believe personally, is, out of the two of them, is the first ballot Hall of Famer. 100%. You know what? The guy has had a fantastic career. He was very clutch in the playoffs. You know, was a big part of that Boston team getting their first World Series in 80-something years. You know, that is, there's no question that Big Papi gets in. A-Rod, on the other hand, is another one of those asterisk guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? He got in trouble for the steroids. He admitted it. He did his suspension. He came back, got his 3,000 hits. You know, he got his last World Series with the Yankees in 2009. You know, but he's another asterisk guy that is probably going to spend maybe not as long as Bonds and as Bonds and Clemens sitting in the background, but he's not a first ballot because of those reasons.
Hit the nail on the head.
Okay. And then to go straight into to 1B, so we, you know, short and sweet. Edgar Martinez, especially growing up in the time period that we did, it was very hard to think of another guy that was strictly a designated hitter that was better than Edgar Martinez, and that was until we got to saw David Ortiz.
Yep.
And then David Ortiz, what he did in the postseason with those same exact Red Sox, and how beloved he is by the people of Boston. And then on top of that, goes back to the Dominican Republic and gets shot and almost dies.
Yep.
I mean, the guy is a true success story to take, you know, a struggling franchise that always finished second fiddle to the Yankees and finally win a World Series. And then on top of that, win more. And the guy hit big home run after big home run every single time he was called upon. That, and he was a classy guy on and off the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
True.
Very.
You know, he was
one
always
of the most charismatic.
he was always supportive. He was always, you know, he was always a class act on the field.
Can't argue that. Pat Walsh, man, thank you for choosing us as obviously, the show you watch, listen to on your car ride home every day, bro. Love you, buddy. And
We appreciate you, bud.
And thank you as always for the
Yeah,
big support. And thanks for staying on hold, man. Thanks for letting me rant long enough to stay on hold to get in here with us.
Absolutely, brother. And guys, thank you for having me. I appreciate you giving me the time. And enjoy. Andy, always good to see you as well, brother.
Always
and,
good to see you,
Andy,
Pat,
Next time you
and
want me to
listen to
take your
you.
money at cards, you let me know.
I love it. Thank you, Pat. Thanks, brother. Take care. Listen,
All right, guys.
it's the Baseball Hall of Fame, baseball in general. Baseball's become very, very, very polarizing. Just in general, with a lot of things. Listen, A-Rod's stats, guys. I just want to read you. I want to read you a few things here, just to put things in perspective. The guy was a 3-time MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He was a runner-up twice, third place voting once. He was essentially on the MVP ballot every single year except 5 in his 22-year career.
696 home runs.
Over 2,000 RBIs,
Yeah.
300 stolen bases. The guy had a career 295 batting average, and by the way, his batting average only dipped just because of the later years. It had nothing to do
Right.
with his entire career, right?
Exactly.
The first 17
Yep.
years.
He was consistent.
If you remove those last few years, he's well over 300.
Oh well,
Well over 300.
an all-star,
Probably 360 something. I think it is.
an all-star
Yeah.
Last 3
in
or 4 years.
virtually every single year he played. It's 2-time Gold Glove, batting title, 10-time Silver Slugger, 14-time All-Star,
Oh, absolutely. bro.
3-time Major League Player of the Year.
Yeah.
The guy is, any way you slice it, it doesn't matter. And by the way, when we talk about players being busts in the first round after being drafted, Alex Rodriguez drafted number 1 overall and lived up to every single second, every single minute of it. And the guy is a baseball
With
savant.
no matter what team he was on
No
either.
matter what team. The guy was a baseball savant. The players love him.
Baseball IQ was out the roof.
His knowledge that he delivers to the youth on and off the field is incredible.
And-
his
and-
wife is smoking hot,
Oh, yeah.
which you
Hey,
get
low.
you get major brownie points.
And also too, to go along with the baseball IQ, on Sunday Night Baseball, his baseball IQ is through the
absolutely.
roof.
Oh, man. It's great watching.
Just
and
what he
listening to him.
shares on the air is just.
I almost vote A-Rod into the Hall of Fame because of J-Lo.
Oh, that's an
I
automatic.
would. I would
It's an
too.
automatic.
Yeah, I would.
She levels him up.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Mhm.
I mean, dude. First of all, that's a very pretty couple.
Smoke show.
Smoke
100%.
Hey, I every time I see them out, first of all, J-Lo gets younger as she ages. Am I right or wrong?
100%.
Okay. And you know who also gets younger as they age? Jennifer Aniston.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Every time I see Jennifer Aniston, she gets younger.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Horrible Bosses. And, oh my God.
Classic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Classic movie.
I'm
classic
like,
comedy.
wait a second. I'm like, did Jennifer Aniston have a much younger sister that looks exactly like her?
No, bro.
Because
She's got the goods.
because I don't understand. Jennifer Aniston and J-Lo are just
Yeah.
unbelievable. They get more gorgeous as they age.
They do it for me.
Almost
Like
like
a
me.
fine wine.
They
Almost
do
like
for me.
I age so well. Other than the dad bod, I age so well. Look at this beard, bro. Now I want to ask you. I want to stay with baseball.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay. A few pieces started to fall. Okay. We saw Lindor go to the Mets, right?
Yes. Carrasco go to the
We
Mets.
see Carrasco go to the Mets. We see DJ go to the Yankees.
Yes.
Stay with the Yankees. We see Corey Kluber go to the Yankees. We see James Taillon, not Talon, I thought it was, but it's actually James Taillon.
They gave up way too many prospects.
They give up 4, but now listen, Michael Kay, obviously the voice of the Yankees.
Yep.
He was talking about the prospects they gave up, and he's a tough critic,
Absolutely.
and he wasn't as concerned with it. James, see, what people don't understand is, so he had 14 wins in 2018, then he had testicular cancer, right?
Yeah.
He had Tommy John twice. He's coming off it now. If he's right, it is a scary proposition to put that sort of talent into the roster. Very, very cheap price. I think $2.8 million. Corey Kluber came with an $11 million price tag. Is it worth it? I'm not sure. Corey Kluber, I think, only pitched 30 innings.
Yeah, the jury's still out on Kluber.
30 innings total in 2 years.
Yeah, jury's still out.
But the question is this: if you're any team out there, you're the Mets. We still have Trevor Bauer on the market. Trevor Bauer's commanding $36 million. I'm gonna let you guys discuss yay or nay on Trevor Bauer, and then I'm going to give you my take on Trevor Bauer. So, Andy, go ahead, brother.
Okay,
Start it out
all right, Trevor Bauer. Are we talking about Trevor Bauer going to the Mets or Trevor Bauer in general?
Tell me anything.
Okay, Trevor Bauer going to the Mets, I think, would be absolutely disastrous with what has transpired thus far, because you don't need any more toxicity in your clubhouse right now.
Absolutely.
And as for the fact that he is commanding, what was it you said, $36 million a year? He's not worth $36 million a year. Okay, let's get that straight.
36 mil is more than Garrett Cole makes.
Exactly.
So go ahead.
Exactly. So apparently Steve Cohen is launching an offer to get Trevor Bauer on the Mets, which you have the starting rotation already of Jake DeGrom, Carrasco, Stroman, Syndergaard, Matz, and Peterson already. And then you're going to add a guy for $36 million a year who's a total head case? No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, Andy. I don't think he's worth the money. Not because, I mean, if you look at the stats and you look at the ERA,
he's not worth the headache.
But it's absolutely the way he was, and John and I have mentioned this before on the show, regarding players who tend to troll teams just to try to get money, and just get their name out in the news. I don't agree with it. I don't think he's worth it. Absolutely, if you're going to pay that kind of money, I would have paid it to Garrett Cole. There's no way that this guy comes in here and changes the clubhouse and
right.
Matt Harvey's the whole thing.
I mean, now
we've already gone through this.
I mean, now, granted, yes, he won the Cy Young. He led the Reds to the postseason, first time in 30 years.
Yeah, listen.
He pitched 10 games, bro.
Yeah, he pitched 10 games. Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't like it
wasn't
like
anything special.
Exactly, and I don't think his short body of work in that time merits that kind of money.
Exactly.
To be trolling teams and be trying to come to New York, and I'm very disappointed.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Uncle Stevie Cohen trying to put him up for 30-some million a year. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, put the money elsewhere.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting, really. Put the money into something of better use. John, go ahead.
I mean, who does he think he is? Bobby Bonilla?
No.
Okay. So I want to try and get this straight, just so I can wrap my mind around it, so you guys can help me understand. Okay. The NL Central last year, all right?
Yep.
Was hot garbage.
Facts.
Okay.
About as good as the NFC East, yeah.
Okay. So the division he pitched in, a whopping 10 games, was hot garbage. He faced nobody.
Yeah.
Also,
go ahead.
Also, he has a career 3.9, 4.0,
yeah,
a 4 ERA.
Yeah.
DeGrom, who has had historical numbers, not great numbers, historical numbers.
His ERA is less than 2.
Sub 2.0.
Yeah.
Which only a handful of pitchers in the history
of Major League Baseball.
Let's go right to our baseball purists in the history of baseball have done. And you want him to get paid more than
Garrett Cole?
Talk to him, Johnny.
Johnny,
talk to him, Johnny.
Come
on, man.
DeGrom.
Talk to him, Johnny.
Every single year, Trevor Bauer should have a sign on his dumb forehead that says insert foot here with an arrow pointing down to his mouth. Because once a year, it's a guaranteed meltdown. You know what he does? He takes a ball, he thinks he's so cute, and he throws it into the outfield, and he disrespects Terry Francona. And then he goes into the game, and he disrespects the next skipper that's in there. And then he goes into social media. He thinks he's playing general manager and says, any team I go to would be a great addition. Hey, bro.
Slow your roll.
You played yourself.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, Trevor Bauer is not only a subpar pitcher with 1.5 years, 1.5, not 2, 1.5. Practice? Talking about practice? 1.5. Okay? Seasons out of the 6 seasons he's been a pitcher, and you give him money that would rival the creme de la creme of players, the Harpers, the Trouts, the Bauers? Excuse me?
Psych again, Batman.
Listen, Stevie Cohen, everything he's done, everything. I've not only liked, I've thoroughly enjoyed. I'm fine with him not overspending on Springer, going into the luxury tax when there's plenty of other options with Ozuna, with Bradley to add the fielding and the depth to the team. We added James McCann. We went out and gave a box of Cracker Jacks and a bag of peanuts for Lindor and Carrasco. I am fine with every single thing Stevie Cohen has done, even down to Jared Porter and his prick picks to women, getting it under the carpet, getting us out of the bad light. I've liked every single thing that Stevie Cohen and the Mets franchise is doing in Sandy Alderson. There is no reason when you are trying to build a brand new culture in the clubhouse, a culture of winning. And we're going to get into another team that's trying to do that also in the NFL, Danny. And you're trying to go into a brand new culture. And then you bring in a guy like Trevor Bauer, who every other day is in social media talking out of his tuchus, as my grandmother would say. There's no way you bring this cancer into the locker room. A matter of fact, Trevor Bauer, you should pay us to say your name.
Absolutely.
You're a walking dumpster. And if he goes to the Mets, I'll be disgusted that I have to say every 5 days, man, I hope Trevor Bauer does good. I don't wish harm on anybody. On anybody. But man, oh man, do I hope that Trevor Bauer, between now and the time he gets signed, stubs his toe on a Lego, falls down his porch steps, burns his hand, breaks a finger. I don't know, something that will hinder the ability for the Mets to sign him to a dumb contract. Go ahead.
Okay, so what you're saying is, honestly, you don't want Trevor Bauer on your team. So let me ask you this question. If he was still available, would you take Blake Snell or Trevor Bauer right now at this moment in time?
I can't, bro. I can't.
I knew he was going to do it.
Come
so, Johnny, you're saying Trevor Bauer does not deserve Blake Snell money.
Wait a minute now.
First of all, Blake Snell is the Eminem of Major League Baseball.
You love him. He's your boy.
I am out.
You love Blake Snell.
I'm telling you right now.
Hot take.
There is two people.
Call them the Eminem.
There is two people that I would, at 35 years old, with a dad
Eminem are we
bod
talking
washed
about?
up.
Chocolate or peanuts?
I would literally, I would fight two people on the spot. Blake Snell and Nick Merckx, that dumb streamer on Twitch. Two people I'd fight on the spot. I'll tell you right now.
Who would you take on the Mets right now? Trevor Bauer or Blake Snell?
My daughter, who's 18 months old. They're both a heaping pile of garbage.
Good answer. If it had to be, I'll answer
If it
that.
had to be.
If it had to be, I would absolutely
If
take Blake
somebody
Snell.
Yes, me
held
too.
me down,
100%.
Me
if someone
too.
held me down
He's
with a
grittier.
gun,
He's tougher.
point-
Is the tougher guys handle
Yeah,
tougher
yeah, yeah.
situations.
He's real gritty.
Deeper in the
Real gritty.
postseason.
Yeah.
Deeper in the postseason.
He's as gritty
I
as
just
you
wanted to
wiping
answer.
your ass with sandpaper.
My
That's
guy,
as
Andy
gritty as
drove
he
like
is.
6 hours to
I'm
come and
done.
see us. I just want to answer his question.
Answer his question.
All
He's
right.
not gritty.
It's been answered.
I'm
All right,
done.
breathe.
I don't want either of them.
Okay. All right. So speaking. All right. Let's kind of
Blake Snell money.
stick
Give
with
me
the
Hank
Mets.
Aaron.
I got that Blake Snell.
God rest his soul.
R.I.P. And Larry King.
So yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
That's right. Similar to Mets news, another one of your buddies, Brody Van Wagenen,
Love Brody.
is now the chief operating officer of Rock Nation.
Nice, man.
Is there?
How do you feel? How do we feel about that right now?
I feel great because Rock Nation is not significant to me. So great, Brody, make that money, dude. If there's dumb
Great
people
spot for
out,
him.
if there's dumb people out there that'll give you money, I love it, dude. Take it,
Yeah.
bro. By all means, listen. By the way, if somebody paid me,
I got to see how he relates to those players on that.
Yeah.
Canvas of
if,
of a list of.
dude,
And now he's the chief operating officer.
if somebody paid me,
Who put me in the middle of these two?
if someone paid me millions of dollars to do graphics design and I've
Millions
never
of dollars.
opened up a graphics design program in my life,
Mm-hmm.
would I say no, I don't know how to do that? I would take the millions and figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brody Van Wagenen.
How much does the class cost you?
So Brody Van Wagenen essentially said, right?
Got a lot of geech left over. You know what I'm saying?
Brody
Yeah.
Van Wagenen essentially said, "Listen, Hove, if you wanna pay me, Hove is in the building, Rock Nation,
It's your boy.
Hove, if you want to pay me millions, Hove, I'm in. I'll do whatever you want me to do, including bad deals, bad trades, whatever you want, Hove." And Hove was like, "Yo, son,
Just son right here.
the
son.
Rock's in the building.
The Rock's in the area.
That's it." That's it. Dude, it doesn't matter.
It's your boy.
You're not going to turn down money. You're going to do it. So for that, I say, Brody, God bless you.
Get that paper, son.
Thank God for America. Thank God you can do whatever it is you do, which
my God.
I don't know what you do yet.
Yeah. We're still trying to figure that out as we speak.
I
But
think he's still trying to figure it out. That's
Yeah.
but
Like
God
John
bless.
said, he got the money. He's gonna take a
Yeah,
class. He'll
good
have a
for
lot of
him.
money left over.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Brookdale and take a graphics designer class.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good for him.
A marketing class very quickly.
At least he's not
Nice.
a part of the 30% on unemployment right now.
There it is. See? That's it.
That's true.
That's it.
That is true.
So now that we're past all this,
Yes.
All right, let's
I-
rip
we-
this Band-Aid
we
off.
have one more. The Phillies signed Real Muto.
Real Muto.
Yes.
Excuse you.
5 years, 115 million.
Mm-hmm.
28 mil a year for a catcher. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of bread for a
That's
catcher.
a lot. That's a very much a lot of bread. I don't know if I would have paid that much for Real Muto, but hey, I mean he's a good catcher. Is he worth 28?
I love when someone says he's good. When someone gets paid
He's a
28,
good
he's
catcher.
It lets me.
He's okay.
It lets me know.
He's not 28
How
million.
bad I could feel about my own life when I look in the mirror and say, "Man, I can't be good at anything and make 28 mil."
Listen,
Man, where did I go wrong?
listen. I think I think I agree with Andy. All right, regarding he's not worth that money.
No.
However, we have seen a huge decline in the value of a catcher.
Massive. Look at Gary Sanchez.
Don't even start with that. Listen,
Funkmaster Flex Night.
hard to get a ticket. Right? Listen, for a Yankees game. Listen, Gary Sanchez. He shouldn't even be in there. I don't know how he's rostered.
I don't know
Nice, top
either.
five catcher.
He's definitely AAA player.
According to the St. Baseball Savants, he's a top 5 catcher.
Yeah, but listen, paying for Real Muto, they had a spot to pay. They can pay him what he wanted. They wanted to keep that big name. Let them keep the big names, because look what they did. Who else did they sign? Big name, and
Squadouche.
exactly. And where did they go?
Squadouche.
Who else did they sign? Tell me the other guy that's on their team that came from Washington.
Hand? Talking about?
Yeah.
Hand sign, yeah. 10
So they-
10.5 mil.
Yeah, I mean, they're just filling spots, and they're going to go nowhere again
Well,
this
with
year.
good players, though. Hand was coveted.
No, Hand was actually a good player.
I understand, but
He
look,
really was.
look where they're spending all the
He
big
was.
money though on the players that are just
get
the name.
He's not worth $28 million
Not worth
a
it.
year, though.
I will not pay this
You know,
for these
who's
players.
worth 28 mil? Me on your for only page. What is that? What's
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. I don't even know what it is. That's how old I am.
You're on OnlyFans.
I'm not, but I will if it gets me 28 mil.
There you go. Yeah,
'Cause I'll be good at whatever you want me to.
that's
Oh,
right.
man. It's too early. It's not even 5, and we're going off the rails here.
I mean, dude, what is
We,
the guy?
we went off the rails at, what was it, 357?
Yeah, it was like
What does
15
the guy
minutes.
got to do around here to make 28 mil and be good? Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, is that your porn music?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that's your porn.
Is it?
There's no porn music like 70s porn music.
Oh, Lordy.
Interesting. I didn't know. I was like, what beat is this? There it is.
Yeah.
I like that. Listen, guys, this is a great baseball segment. I
It
love
was,
I love
yeah.
it, dude.
It was great.
I wanna go over to
Huge.
what's really been obviously the fireworks this last week in the NFL.
Yes.
Let's
Okay.
get it.
We have this past weekend. We had
Hold on, John, and I don't mean to cut you off here.
Yes, it does.
Well, no, actually I didn't. But I need to settle a debate here that the two of you have had
what the big guy.
for the last
Oh, my
like
God.
couple of weeks.
Set the desk on fire now.
I know you're not gonna bring up Devontae Adams.
Oh, it's
We're gonna bring it up
Okay, go ahead.
between the two of you. First of all, I'll start with Dan. Dan, who do you think is the best wide receiver in football right now?
in football right now playing.
No, just period. Right now
Like
as we
ever?
speak. No, right now as we speak.
That's
Why
what
do
I'm
you
saying.
keep saying different things? The guy said right now, and you said playing, and then he said no right now, and then you said forever. Like, bro, why like?
Because he confused me when I said it.
No,
and then he-
But he said
there's
it
no
fast, so
confusing.
I asked them two different questions.
I would have to say D-Hop.
This guy.
But wait a minute. On Sunday, you posted on your Facebook page that Tyreek Hill was the best wide receiver in football. Please argue me.
Yeah, I said,
You know
please
Dan
prove
talk-
me wrong
you know-
because
you know
So,
Dan talks
I was
about guys.
trolling.
So wait
I
a
was
minute,
trolling John.
wait a minute.
I was trolling John
I don't know why.
Now, you
because
have,
that's how you put your posts up.
so wait a
Your
minute.
posts
So
always
wait
end
a
to prove
minute.
me wrong.
So wait a minute.
So I
So
figured after we had the big
Daniel-
blowout.
Daniel, so you have come on this air.
Yeah.
You've come on and you've said for the past 2 to 3 weeks that Devontae Adams is the best wide receiver in football. Now all of a sudden you have flip-flopped from Tyreek Hill to now today you have said DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in football.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver in football playing, hands talent-wise. I'm going to tell you, the question John posed to me a few weeks ago that started this whole rift was, if you were a GM and you were starting a team and your only choices were Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams, I'm taking the guy that has 18 touchdowns as opposed to the guy that has 8 touchdowns.
Okay.
I don't care if he's got 200 yards more in the year
Okay.
and 15 more catches.
Dumb argument.
Yes, thank you. Listen, first of all, when you and I learned this very well from a very, very smart man who's sitting next to you. When you have
Yet to be proven.
one argument, do not flip flop 45 different ways.
Lose all credibility.
Yes.
He did it.
Okay, he did it. My God, he did it, and he did it, and he did it, and he did it.
I actually wrote it on that post, Andy, just so
Ready
you know
for
that
it?
I was
Okay.
trolling John.
You ready for it? You ready for it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it.
All right,
to
hold
you.
on.
We were talking Stephon
I'm
Diggs
gonna go,
and Devontae Adams.
I'm gonna go even a step further with
ahead.
this.
Bury him.
Go ahead.
Okay.
If you don't, I will.
So I got a
Okay.
shovel. Let's go.
Bury
Okay.
him.
So all right. So
You're gonna shovel from inside the ground up.
That's right.
sure,
Ridiculous.
DeAndre Hopkins. Let me read you off his numbers for this year in 2020. 4th in total yards per game. Okay. 3rd in average catches per game. All right.
Okay.
2nd in total receiving yards. Okay.
Do you have these notes written down on your hand?
No.
Oh, okay.
off the top of the dome.
Do we have to fact check this?
Sure.
No,
Ken, if you'd
I
like.
can see right through.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think I got a haircut?
view.
Exactly.
Very good. Go ahead.
You're not alone.
So now we get to the fun stuff. Yards per completion does not rank in the top 10.
Wow.
Receiving touchdowns does not rank in the top 10.
Wow.
You have the audacity to sit up here as a co-host of a radio show
100%.
and say that DeAndre Hopkins does not rank in any one of the major 5 categories as a wide receiver and say that he is the best wide receiver in football.
I think he's the most talented, is what I just said.
Someone give me the Funkmaster Flex bomb.
Seriously, like,
Sound effects?
that makes no sense. That makes 0 sense.
Okay.
I think he's listen. He's playing with a rookie quarterback. He's switched teams. And
He's not a
offense-
rookie quarterback. He's not a rookie quarterback.
Okay, so 2 years.
So he's not a rookie
All right,
quarterback.
but he's 2 years in, and
He's not a rookie.
But this is DeAndre Hopkins' first year playing with him.
Okay, great.
Right, so he's learned a new offense.
Great.
You're gonna see. I bet you're gonna see an exponential growth in him next year, and I bet you he ends up top three receiver next year.
DeAndre Hopkins was lucky he was the 5th best wide receiver in football this year.
Okay.
I'm just going to squash your argument of 18 touchdowns. You ready for it? I'm going to squash it. For you, I'm going to squash it.
Yeah, can
You
you?
can squash it. I'm still. If
No,
it's
listen.
between Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams, I'm taking
Okay.
Devontae Adams.
All right,
But-
no.
but you only
Can I
took-
finish? Can I finish real quick?
I'm going
Go
to give
ahead,
you 10
Andy.
seconds. 10
All right, fine. If you want me to pick between Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs, I'll say this. You take Devontae Adams off the Green Bay Packers, they're still 11-5. You take Steph Diggs off of Buffalo, they are lucky that they are a 500.
Thank you. So my point, I try to make this point.
Cole
online.
Beasley played with
Don't
broken
no,
leg,
no, no,
and
no,
he's
no,
still
no.
got and he's
No, no,
still
no,
got.
don't
and
give
he's
me
still
the-
got 4
do not
touchdowns,
give
and
me
he
the
still has
Cole
1,000
Beasley
yards.
argument.
Beasley, bro. Cole Beasley.
Do not give me the Cole
That
Beasley
proves-
argument.
That proves that Josh Allen's play was exponentially better this year. And that's what elevated. It's a combination of him and Stephon Diggs. It's not just that Stephon Diggs.
What was the only difference in that offense this year? He had Cole Beasley last year. Well, and by the way, Devin Singletary was also one of the great premier running backs.
Yes, he
last year.
was.
And he wasn't as productive this year. What made Josh Allen's play exponentially better?
Stephon
The only
Diggs.
addition, bro.
You could say that, but there's
It's
no
not that we can
there's
say
nothing.
it, but
There's
No, it's not
nothing-
that we could say it. The stats are right there.
Damn.
No, he played so much better this year. He did not play anything like that last year. His accuracy has changed. His completion percentage is like 20% higher. The jump that Josh Allen made, you cannot take that away, and say that
And why is that?
Stephon Diggs'
Okay.
numbers on his receptions and his yards.
All right, it's fine. You said Devontae Adams. You said you would take him because you take the guy with 18 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fine. You know who else had 18 touchdowns? And I want you to tell me 18 touchdowns, 1,200 rushing yards in a season for an NFL team. And
Good.
recently in 2016, I don't know if you could think of it off the top of your head, but can you? The running back a few years ago, 18 tutties, 1,200 yards rushing.
Was that Hunt?
No, I mean it's a good guess because he's a premier running back. LeGarrette Blount.
Oh,
So now let me ask you
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Good.
At any moment in time in your life, did you wake up in the morning, the sun is out, you look at your beautiful wife and you say, you know, Stephanie, LeGarrette Blount is the man. He's got 18 touchdowns.
LeGarrette Blount is the
He's
best
He's the
running
guy
back
I
in
want
football.
on my team. No, bro. You didn't. Because
No.
no matter if he had 50 touchdowns, LeGarrette Blount is cacas. Okay, bro? So if your argument is out.
no, because if you're talking about, all right, am I picking a running back or am I picking a wide receiver? We're comparing wide receivers. You're talking about two completely different positions.
Bro, you went with the guy that had the touchdown. So I gave you a guy that had a comparable touchdown.
It's not just touchdowns, though. You're talking about at the receiver position. Name me another guy that's got 18 touchdowns at the receiver position. Go ahead and I'll tell you my answer.
But you just
But
said to me.
but
Okay. So
but-
we're only going. Okay.
but it's 2-on-1. I'll take you both. It's all right.
Okay, no problem. No problem. No problem.
Doesn't even rank number one
No.
in any wide receiver
No
statistical categories
problem.
in
Even
the
though
NFL.
the
Devontae
Packers-
Adams?
Even though
No,
the
no, no, no,
Packers-
no.
Oh.
Even though the Packers statistically
Would still be 11-5 without him.
win more
Without
and
him.
have more productivity without him on the
him.
field. I'm not saying that they're better without him. They're not.
Right.
They're not. There's no doubt Devontae Adams is a major asset to his team and to the NFL and to any team he would be on. Major.
Okay.
It is a fact.
The Packers are 4-0 without him.
That's it, bro. And last year the Bills were 10-6. Okay. Josh Allen had a 13% increase this year with the same offensive line, the same running backs, the same wide receivers with only one addition. The difference is this. When you have a premier playmaker, okay, your quarterback now knows that he can make small mistakes on the field and that guy will make up the difference. Meaning, he overthrows him, underthrows him, throws behind him. Diggs will go get it, and your completion percentage will go up also. If you have a premier playmaker who's commanding double coverage, what does that do for Cole Beasley? Puts him against the linebacker in the slot position. Puts him against a dime corner or a nickel corner who is not prepared to take a wide receiver
Right.
of the skill level.
Exactly.
Therefore, the throws are easier to make with much bigger windows for Josh Allen to throw into.
Yes.
Why is Aaron Rodgers' stats better with Devontae Adams off the field than when he's on? Because Aaron Rodgers is a football god, okay? And Josh Allen is a good QB.
Yes.
So when he has an elite talent on the field, it makes him better. That's why.
And it also helps that Aaron Rodgers has about 15 targets to throw to.
I don't know any of their names. I don't even need to. Lazard, it doesn't matter who he passes to.
Vonda Scantling.
They all just get the job done.
Exactly.
Because Aaron Rodgers carves you up like a Thanksgiving turkey, bro. It doesn't matter. When's the last time you looked at me and said, yo, Josh Allen is carving dudes up? Stop. I'll wait. Come on, bro.
The other day I texted you.
What?
I didn't say carving, but I said, wow, Josh Allen's having a big game.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So one time this year, my co-host texted me and said Josh Allen's having a great game.
It just happened to be the other day.
All I'm telling you this is if you had to pick 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, 5, right now, name them. 5.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, 5th. Wow.
Ben?
Lamar Jackson.
You put Jackson over Big Ben?
Yes.
Okay, so hold on. You didn't have Russell Wilson in there, but you had Josh Allen.
Yep. Right now.
You would have Josh Allen over Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I would. Right now.
Did we do a temperature check when we came in here?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I don't really...
You had me with the points on the receiver stuff, but you lost me
Yeah.
right there.
Bro, are you... No, seriously, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm going to start breathing into this
I'm good.
mic.
Deshaun Watson? You have him over Deshaun Watson?
Yes. Right now.
Wow.
All right, dude, you lost all credit.
Wow, this
All right, fine.
This is,
Fine.
sorry, John.
Whatever your argument was, it was out the window.
All right, fine.
Bro,
All right.
because the top 5 quarterbacks, hands down, it doesn't even matter which way you look at it. And by the way, Drew Brees
Tom
played,
Brady, Drew Brees,
played,
yeah.
played with a torn rotator cuff. So once that's healed, even at his age, you're talking Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Bro, I mean, dude, it's... By the way, it's not even close. And then you can say Josh Allen in his 1 year of playing nice quarterback. Oh, by the way, I take Matt Stafford also. So the fact is there's no way 1 year Josh Allen is, you're telling me, I've said it many of times on this show. I'm not a one have you done for me lately. I'm a guy of
Sure.
a law of
Yeah.
averages.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
A law of averages.
I got you.
Eventually, you'll have a good season, but you will come back down to your laws of average. So whatever you are, you are. Bill Parcells said it best. You are whatever your record says you are. So the fact of the matter is, if Josh Allen has a 58% completion rating and 1 year's got a 69%, I'd bet you next year he's closer to 65. because he's going to come down to his laws of average. He's not going to stay at 70%. You want to know why? Because the only person who ever stayed at 70% was Drew Brees, one of the best QBs to ever do it. So you're not going to tell me that Josh Allen is all of a sudden going to be upper echelon. So I'm telling you right now, the laws of average will eventually take over. They will come into effect. Josh Allen is not a top 5 quarterback. And that's the way that it is.
Okay.
And I understand your point, and you make a very valid point. But for the both of you, I just want to talk about Kirk Cousins for a second. Kirk Cousins' 2019 totals, he's got 26 touchdowns, and that's with Stephon Diggs. 3,600 yards with Stephon Diggs. 69% passing completion, 444 attempts, 307 completions out of that. In 2020, without Stephon Diggs, he's got 349 completions, 516 attempts. He's a 67, which is a little bit, there's 2 points less, a point and a half less. And he's got 4,200 yards, 4,265, and 35 touchdowns. So if Stephon Diggs is the man, like you're saying, shouldn't Kirk Cousins' numbers have dropped?
Can you tell me what the Vikings went this year and what they went last year?
That'd be a big fat nowhere.
Right? No, can you tell me what they did?
They still went nowhere.
Wait. So last year they were playoffs. This year they went 7-9.
They went to playoffs and lost.
Bills
went to the playoffs and lost.
Last year.
So is that because of Stephon Diggs too?
This year they went further.
Because that's the only common denominator, right?
The common denominator is they went further with Stephon Diggs.
They still lost, right?
Of course, but they went further with Stephon Diggs.
I'm not saying that the Buffalo Bills are not better.
Regressed without Stephon Diggs. They regressed. Did they not regress? They went from 10-6 to 7-9.
Passing distance, yards per attempt, 8.3 as opposed to 8.1 when he had Stephon Diggs. I mean, I don't understand.
They have another. Okay, hold on a second. They have another year. The fact of the matter is they were in the playoffs last year. Dalvin Cook still led the league in rushing.
Bro,
second in rushing.
The distance that they make it in the playoffs is not based on one player.
Why is it not?
It has to be.
Because it's a team effort.
They went
no,
from
it's
10
not.
They went from 10
it's
and
football.
6. Bro,
football is the most team-needy sport.
Everything about this team
Everybody has to do their thing.
But everything increased on the offensive side. They went from 10-6 to 13-3.
So then how do you explain Minnesota's increase in all their stats except for the wins?
Except their overall record, which plummeted after losing a Pro Bowl wide receiver who helped the offense.
I got 10 stats that tell me that your one stat is wrong, man.
And I have the only stat that matters that tells you you're wrong.
All right.
The fact is this. I argue all the time that Dak Prescott holds no water when it comes to negotiations with the Cowboys, right? I say how much I hate him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The minute Dak Prescott left, the offense plummeted.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is no matter how much trash I talk about Dak Prescott, the writing is on the wall, okay?
It's true.
I'm letting you know right now, no matter what you say about Stephon Diggs, the writing is on the wall. I'm not making up fictional characters. Bro, I'm telling you this right now. We're not talking Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. We're talking actual facts that even Facebook can't shut me down for, okay? Josh Allen and the Bills were 10-6. They're now 13-3.
Who won that poll you put up?
What?
Between Stephon Diggs and Davante Adams.
Who cares about a Facebook poll? Honestly.
No, Davante Adams did.
Okay.
But by the way, I was trolling you with that poll, so you know.
I know.
I reached out to 10 people and told them to vote for Stephon Diggs. I'm letting you know right now that the poll was swayed and should have been further Davante Adams. I'm letting you know I would take Davante Adams also.
Okay, because that's not what you said.
Of course it's not what I said, because what I'm telling you is
we're not supposed to flip-flop.
When it comes to a team game, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Just a bit outside.
Guys, you're not.
Let's move on.
You're not understanding. I'm going to
agree to disagree.
I'm going to make my point right now.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You ready? We're talking about the Bills, and we're talking about the Packers. Okay?
Yes, the two teams completely on a different spectrum.
The Bills are a better team with Stephon Diggs than the Packers are with Davante Adams. That was the only point I was making.
Yeah.
Davante Adams is much more of a physical specimen.
Mm-hmm.
He breaks tackles. He stiff arms. He catches the ball. I've seen Davante Adams go up and catch the ball better. I've seen him demand more, double or triple coverage. I've seen him get open a little better. What you cannot ever change. What you cannot
Is the impact that Stephon
That's
Diggs has had on
it.
the Bills.
So the fact of the matter is,
Facts.
Stephon
Now
Diggs
we are
has
in
had
agreement.
a bigger impact than Devontae Adams.
That-
Now
That's-
we're in agreement. I'm not asking you who's MVP. Your question to me, again, that started this, was if you were starting a team and you picked,
I
and you
never
had to
said
pick
that.
one or the other. Yes, you did.
Find it and quote me.
No problem. Okay, no problem. Keep looking into the corner.
Find it and quote
Absolutely.
me, sucker.
I will. Sucker.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no half stepping. You half stepping right now, bruh.
No. Bro, listen.
All right,
First of
so
all, it's
listen,
only
I don't
a-
want to.
it's
We've
only
already
a
gone off the
two-step.
rails. We got Andy here. I want to get into more stuff because I got to get Andy's opinion, like stuff on hockey and stuff like that I'm not great
All
at.
right, but I want to talk about football because we have.
Oh no, we're going into this football. Can we segue into these trades if possible?
Hold on. Before we go completely off the rails, we have a we have a caller on the line which we need to get to. So
100%. Thank
call
you, Andy.
caller.
You're on My Sports Radio.
Yes.
Welcome, caller. Who do we got?
I think we have multiple callers.
Hello.
That could be the problem.
Can we put a caller
hold
through?
on. So listen. So for anybody who's listening right now that calls in,
Yes.
last week we had 5 or 6 callers throughout the show, sometimes at the same time, from all different area codes. When I say different area codes, I'm telling you Jersey, PA, Texas, New York. Am I right or wrong? Everywhere.
Facts, bro.
So please, whoever calls in, we do want to get to all of them.
Absolutely.
Let's just let's
we gotta
keep
spread
it,
the
let's
love.
keep it let's keep it brief because we do obviously anybody who picks us, we want to make sure we show that love. But we have so much to get to in such a little time span that sometimes when a caller calls in, I find myself going off the rails, and I want to try and keep myself on. So, to the Wizard of Oz in the back, whoever we have on the phone or whoever called in first, patch them through so we can get them in, and
Let's
we'll
get their
try and
question in or
hammer
comment.
out
Yeah.
a bunch of people because I want to really talk about this, the AFC matchup, the NFC matchup. So who's with us? Our caller. Is he there with us? I think he's screening the call.
Is he there?
Sounds like he's asking him questions.
Is he there?
He's the best, man.
Oh,
The
he's
Wizard of Oz is
awesome.
doing his thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Oz in the building. All right, Andy.
all right.
Go
so
ahead, Andy.
all right. So let's start with the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go. The Chiefs probably put together a full 60-minute performance for the first time since they played the New York Jets in Week 8. Agreed?
Yep.
Now, it's not that Buffalo played a bad game. It's just you're bringing a knife to a gunfight,
Yeah, man.
really. I mean, you have now. Granted, Buffalo is. They kind of remind me of the mid '90s Green Bay Packers when they had Brett Favre on their team. You know, they would get to the playoffs, and then they get to a division round, and then they get to the AFC Championship. You know, and their stock's kind of going up.
Terrible comparison.
So, well,
And I want to see where he's going with it. He's reeled
So-
me. Reeled me in.
I mean, eventually they would get to the big game. Now, currently the trend is kind of the same as those. That's where I was trying to get at. I'm not saying that they're.
I'm with you, brother.
I'm
I'm
not.
with you.
I'm not saying that they're going to be as good as the.
The Bills have been to the playoffs 2 times in 20 years. Now they're the mid 90s.
Well, no.
What's going on out here?
No. I'm saying.
The Cowboys. The Cowboys
No, I'm
really.
saying-
The Cowboys really resemble the
No,
Bills
I-
of the 90s. You
Listen,
know.
No, you're missing the point.
You know what John resembles?
No, I'm saying the stuff.
Go ahead. Okay.
Andy,
All right, I'm done laughing for 5
No,
minutes. Go ahead.
no. But what Andy I think is trying to get to is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Andy. They're building themselves up, and is there a build me up to let me down that you see coming?
I'm going to give you a better comparison, Andy Williams.
Sure.
Here you go. You ready? Peyton Manning and the Colts of the 2000s.
Yeah, there's another comparison right
Hold on.
there.
Tom Brady, right? And how Peyton Manning always had to go through the Patriots and Tom Brady. Now, Josh Allen's going to have to go through Patrick Mahomes every year. I think that may be a slightly better comparison than comparing
Sure.
him to the Packers who were always in the playoffs and the Bills haven't been. And they should be so lucky to be the mid-90 the 90s Packers, really the Packers of the last 30 years, really. I mean, when have we seen the Packers be bad? Have we ever seen the Packers be bad? I've never seen the Packers. They went from...
Not really, but I
they
think what
went
Andy's saying is
they
that
went from star to far to
Buffalo now with this stout defense, I think you're going to see them making more often.
Yeah.
You're going to see it more often than not. You're going to see them making runs. I mean,
God
until
willing.
my
Yeah.
Jets step up to the plate and start putting a real roster together, which we'll get into shortly.
Yep.
The Bill Belichick and whoever's going to be his quarterback next year, whether it's Stidham, Cam Newton, or Matt Stafford, which I got a hot take on that. But Andy, absolutely, I'm with you. I think making that comparison, I understand what you mean. You're going to see a consistent run from the Buffalo Bills,
absolutely.
and they will be the team in New York, and that's facts.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, what had happened was, I'm just saying to any of my Bills fans out there,
Nobody circles the wagons.
I was gonna say, but I won't because he did it. But what I'm gonna let you know, there is a bright future.
Yes.
I think they have great coaching. I think they have great leadership. I think Josh Allen's on the right trajectory.
Yes.
They got Stephon Diggs. They have Singletary. They need to use the run game more.
They need a running back. They need another wideout to complement Steph Diggs.
Absolutely.
And they need a consistent pass rush.
Great point. I was going to say D tackle DN.
Yes.
Yes. Oliver's nice, but I'm telling you,
They
great
need
point. They were bottom 5 rush.
Yes.
Bad. Can't win games like that.
No, you cannot.
Nope. Can't win games like that.
And again, you can't kick field goals against Patrick Mahomes at all.
No.
You cannot be
Gotta
kicking.
score.
You cannot be kicking field goals when you have first and goal inside of the 10. They did that twice.
Does Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah, that might work in the regular season, not in
Yeah,
not
no.
in the postseason.
No.
in a day and age with free agency,
Yeah.
does Patrick Mahomes, how many Super Bowls do you see Patrick Mahomes realistically getting? Let's say for argument's sake,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes QBs
He's got one.
for 18 years. And he's got one right now. How many do you see him getting?
How many more?
Total. With the way free agency
With the
is.
way free agency
Correct.
is and the team that based on the team that he has and the free agency, I would say at the end of the day he probably gets to maybe 3 or 4.
Okay, that's a great number. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's got one under the belt. I think he hits the four mark before his career ends. Should he stay healthy? You know what I mean, God willing. And nobody wish, again, like you said before, we don't wish any ill will or injuries to anybody. But it's a it's a collision sport, and it happens. They have injuries every single game. It's 100% injury game. So you know what?
Yeah.
I think he definitely hits 4 before his career is done, and he has a very illustrious career that we're going to be talking about for years.
Yeah.
What was the one thing that you felt during the game?
Whoa.
So
What are you talking about?
So the Bills Chiefs game in the beginning, it looked like the Bills were off to a quick start. They were up 9-0, right? Quick start.
Yep.
It meant nothing.
And did you feel at any moment in time that the Chiefs were out of it?
No.
You didn't, right?
Tell me
No.
this, Andy.
No.
Would you agree with me? When you saw the Bills up by a touchdown, did you say, "All right, now Patrick Mahomes going to stop messing around and turn on the guns"?
I basically
and shoot this out and get this thing.
I
over with?
basically looked when they went up 9-0 and they muffed that punt, and then the Bills went in and scored. I was like, "You're just ticking him off," and then all of a sudden, bang, 21 unanswered.
Yep.
Just like that. I seriously was not worried under any circumstances.
You know,
So-
I feel like when I see Patrick Mahomes playing, and you see him like playing behind, or they're doing these trick plays or these scheme plays, like just to try something out in the first quarter. I feel like by the second quarter, if he sees, all right, you know what, let's not messing around. I feel like he, like in Over the Top, I feel like he just turns his head around, and that switch goes off, and he just goes to town. You just can't stop him.
Here was another thing too. Also, the guy who muffed the punt, who was it, Hartman?
Yeah,
McCall Hardman.
Mecole Hardman.
Patrick Mahomes went right to him after the Bills scored that touchdown and said, "Dude, we need you. I'm throwing you the ball these next 3 plays."
And he had that huge.
What happened?
Wow, 50 yards, right?
Thank you.
Bananas.
I mean, I'm looking.
Good point.
I'm looking statistically.
Patrick Mahomes had only 8 incompletions the whole game?
9 total incompletions.
9, yeah.
He averaged almost a first down on every throw.
Yeah.
QBR 95.8.
That's
a
pretty
rating
good.
Of 127.6.
In the AFC Championship.
In the AFC Championship game, 325 yards, 3 TDs. Not for one single split moment did we think that the game was out of hand.
No.
And let me tell you, so I was watching the game with a friend of mine, and he asked me a question. And not that it took me very long to think about it, but I want your opinions. Is Travis Kelce the best tight end you've ever seen?
Andy, take it.
The best?
I had to think about it, right? And I was thinking a lot, and there was a receiver. There was two that I fused together to get him.
Yeah. Travis Kelce, the best tight end. I mean, I got to see a couple more years first. I mean, Tony Gonzalez, I think, is the best tight end of all time. But if you right now, yes, Travis Kelce is the best tight end in all of football. Of all time, though, it's kind of hard to argue against Tony Gonzalez and the work he's done.
I agree with you. I love Tony Gonzalez, and I want to praise him, but again, we haven't seen the full body of work. This is like the question we had last
Right.
week. If Patrick Mahomes is going to be the greatest quarterback ever, I don't know until I see his complete body of work. Has Kelce
Travis Kelce's
aspired?
young.
Yeah. Have I seen Kelce do things that are amazing that no other, tight end has done? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he can run the seam with the best wide receiver, with the fastest wide receiver, with the against the toughest defense, the toughest free safeties, and the toughest strong safeties. It doesn't matter. You can't cover the guy.
Yeah.
And the fact that he blocks and he doesn't take a play off is amazing. I think the stat we picked up last week was he's the first tight end to have his first 5 seasons over 1,000 yards. Bananas.
And he stayed healthy all 5 seasons.
Right. He's played almost every game.
Exactly.
I think only one game he took off a half a game or something like that. Man, this guy is going to be something to watch. I think we still have yet to see it, but I cannot take away from the football gods that have given us Tony Gonzalez, the likes of Antonio Gates.
Mm-hmm. There's another one.
And I mean, a guy who's still playing today, who I think is one of the greats, but doesn't have all the stats that the rest of the guys have until maybe he finishes his career. Mercedes Lewis. I mean, you're looking at for him to do these things. I think in the next 10 years we may be having that conversation.
Yeah.
So he looked at me and said, in his opinion, he thought Rob Gronkowski.
Listen, I could see it.
So
He's probably top 5 all time.
Rob
top 5.
Rob Gronkowski, in many, many articles that you read, sports articles, most of the time they have it number 2 or number 3. That's where they have Rob Gronkowski. Most articles. Reading another one here, but I think I read about 4 or 5 that had him 2 or 3. Most of them have Tony Gonzalez number 1. They have Shannon Sharp right there, kind of intertwined.
Oh, how did we forget Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
And a lot of them will flip-flop with Antonio Gates. So, that was one of them. For me, I have Travis Kelce as a hybrid of two tight ends. Travis Kelce, to me, has the hands of Rob Gronkowski. He never misses a pass. The guy just catches the ball. And Jason Witten, where he's always in the right place at the right time.
A smart player.
A smart player.
Yeah.
And the one thing that stops him is that incredible athleticism that, like, you remember how Tony Gonzalez, every time he caught a touchdown, he would dunk the ball over the field goal post, right?
Yes.
So Tony Gonzalez was obviously a very athletic specimen, right? So that's what made him special. I look at Travis Kelce, and I think 5 more years of this, Travis Kelce will be so far above the rest in stats if he continues this upward trajectory. It won't even be close when you talk about the greatest tight end of all time. And the thing that I love about Travis Kelce also is the tight end position. It's such a weird, unique position where the player is almost as big as a linebacker.
Yeah.
But runs almost as fast as a wide receiver. So anytime he's matched up,
and he's as tough as a running back.
So anytime you have him matched up. He's matched up against the nickel
Absolutely.
or a linebacker.
Right.
Yeah, because if you got an
How do you
outside
cover
linebacker on him, you can't cover him. He's not fast enough.
No.
He might be big enough, might press him at the line, but he's big enough that he can press back and fight through the press, swim through it, whatever, rip through it. But when you have, these small free safeties and these strong safeties trying to come up,
By the way,
he smashes them.
yeah. By the way, who's gonna tackle Travis Kelce? It's not
he's
one
a
person.
monster.
It's not one person.
Oh yeah, his
Whenever you see him go 15, 20 yards down the field, it always takes him multiple players to bring him down.
Yeah.
absolutely
And I mean,
monster.
on this list, Shannon Sharp's up there, Kellen Winslow.
Yep. Big names.
The dad, obviously, senior, and Ozzie Newsome,
Yeah.
Browns legend.
Where does Ditka rank on that list?
Number 7.
Oh, nice.
Right there, yeah. So, I mean, listen, I see a lot of these old school players. The position,
Is Casper the friend? Oh, there he is.
yeah, Dave Casper. The position is obviously not. It doesn't warrant so much attention, right? Like
Right.
the tight end position is not so flashy. So a lot of them kind of, even though they do nicer things, like a Greg Olsen, who's been like a perennial Pro Bowler. He was there for a long time. He's not going to warrant so much attention. But the fact is when I watch Kelce, you can clearly see he is such a crazy game changer at the tight end position. I mean, guys, these stats here. You're talking about twice over 100 catches. One of them, another year in '97, and 10 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, eight touchdowns. 1,125 yards.
He's
1,038,
consistent.
1,300,
Consistent.
1,300,
Consistent.
And it really is. He's such a game changer. And the reason why I say it is because when we go to this game that just took place, Travis Kelce had 13 catches for 118 yards.
Exactly.
In the AFC Championship game and 2 tutties.
Mm-hmm.
It's just incredible. He averaged 9 yards a catch.
Yeah.
The guy's in the right place at the right time. And to get to the next one, Tyreek Hill, 9 catches, 172 yards. Now here's the thing. Is there a bigger playmaker when the ball gets into his hands than Tyreek Hill?
No.
I think what you're trying to say is he the most dangerous once he gets the ball?
Most dynamic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely, because you can't catch him. Did you see the one run where he gets in between? He ran like another 40 yards after he caught the ball. He gets in between the safeties, runs back a couple yards, gets around the safeties, lets his lineman block for him, gives his lineman time, and his speed. His speed is so uncanny that it allows for him to slow down. While you're catching up, his lineman catches up, and he can get around his lineman in the blink of an eye.
Is there ever a time where Tyreek Hill catches the ball and you don't think, this guy's all, he's gone?
Yeah. Every time he catches the ball in the open field, and there's like a little sliver of crease.
Yeah. You know who else reminded me of that too? You know who else used to be that kind of receiver before his injuries? Every single time he caught the ball over the middle on a 5-yard little slant, every time Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
When he was healthy.
Every single time Odell caught the ball over the middle of the field for 5 yards, I promise you, I would always think to myself, he's out.
Yeah.
Odell was so freaking quick. It was insane to watch that guy. When he had the ball in his hands on a quick slant, dude, that guy was nuts. Him and Tyreek, I always feel when they get the ball, dude, later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's crazy. So the AFC,
It's unfortunate with all the injuries, man.
the AFC, we envision for years Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, depending on where he goes to, will be vying for top position. I also do feel sooner or later we're going to hear Justin Herbert's name in that conversation. Justin Herbert came in this year, and it's very unfortunate, but I also thought that the upward trajectory of the Bengals with Joe Burrow was also, it made me feel as though they were heading the right direction. They had their franchise QB.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him play was super fun.
That kid's tough. He took a lot of hits.
He could sling the ball. So now we're going to go over to the NFC. Many storylines in the NFC,
Oh,
guys.
God.
Many, okay? We have off-season moves coming up in the NFC.
Yes.
We have a potential changing of the guard. We have the old dog in Tom Brady still ticking away, right? This past game, we saw Aaron Rodgers with his discount double check going up against the GOAT and Tom Brady. 14 championship games, 70% of his career in upper echelon championship games, 6-time Super Bowl winner. He's now been to 10 Super Bowls.
Going to be.
So he's going to 10, right? So my question is this for you. With the NFC, this game you saw, was it more of Tom Brady being the great Tom Brady, or was it more of bad time management on the Packers, mismanaging the end of the game? What do you think? What do you think happened at the end of that game?
I think it was both, to be perfectly honest with you. The first half, Tom Brady played an unbelievable first half of football. In the second half, Tom Brady was 7 for 14 with 3 picks. Not so good, Tom Brady. But however, when Tom Brady has thrown for 3 or more interceptions in a playoff game, he's 3-1. Aaron Rodgers, when throwing for 3 or more touchdowns in a game, he's lost. It's basically Tom Brady can overcome more, when the chips are down, than when the chips are down for Aaron Rodgers, it's But here's the thing. Everybody wants to throw blame on the coach and throw blame on the defense. Well, you can't really blame the defense because they held Tampa to under 20 first downs the whole game. So you can't really go there. Yes, there is blame to go around to Matt LaFleur. There has to be some blame there. But what I'm very puzzled about, and I was very puzzled about on Sunday and Monday and also yesterday, why hasn't anybody put any blame on Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
There has to be some blame there. Ever since he has won the Super Bowl back in 2010, do you know what his playoff record is? 7-8. That separates the good ones from the great ones.
That's right.
Yes, he has a Super Bowl ring, but on second and third down, from the pocket, he could have ran to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, man.
Into the end zone.
I'm with you with that.
And now, with that, yes, again, Matt LaFleur kicking the field goal. That was a poor decision. 100%. You absolutely have to go for it there on fourth down. I don't care what the analytics are. I don't care if you have 3 timeouts. You have the MVP of the National Football League, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and you don't go for it. You take the ball out of his hands.
You play to win the game.
Yes. Or at least play to get the tie. But anyway, but besides the point, I think that there should be multiple blames here. Matt LaFleur, yes, bad play calling. However, there needs to be some blame starting to get put on Aaron Rodgers now.
Absolutely, I agree with you. When the coaching, enough blame to go around was perfectly said, because aside from the bad coaching towards the end of the game, there was a couple plays before that that third down that I felt like they got the field goal that I felt like they got a little lucky anyway.
Oh, and also too, start of the fourth quarter, Brady throws back-to-back picks. First 2 drives. The drives coming off the interceptions, 3 and out, 6 plays, -5 yards.
Absolutely, I feel like Tom Brady finds a way to turn when he gets an opportunity, he tries to make the most of it. I feel like when they had some bad plays and they got lucky a couple times, that one of them should have been a pick. They go 3 and out. They bad play calling after that. When I mentioned also why didn't Aaron Rodgers run to the corner to the pylon?
He could have ran to
Right?
Minneapolis for God's
I thought
sakes.
too. Somebody brought to my attention. Rewatch the film. JPP was there. He probably would have hawked him. Okay, I understand.
No, he wouldn't have.
But even if JPP less 2 fingers gets there, I don't think with the momentum, the angle that he was going, I don't think anybody would have stopped him. I think he would have made it to the pylon. They could have won that game.
There was the same play also that happened when in the last round where Aaron Rodgers ran for the touchdown against the Rams. He ran it.
Yep.
That clinched the game.
I'm going to give you guys.
That's facts.
I'm going to give you a complete different perspective.
Sure.
LaFleur's decision was not a bad one. You ready for it?
Yeah.
In the second half, even furthermore, after the touchdown that Tampa Bay had in the second half,
Right.
they scored 3 points in the remaining 20 minutes of the game. So here's what I'm going to say to you.
Yeah, you can't blame the defense.
Packers completely shut down the Bucs.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt LaFleur at the end of the game, and he actually played it right, and I'm going to tell you why he did. Matt LaFleur said, we're going to kick the field, we're going to be 8 points away. Okay?
5,
5.
yeah. But anyway,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry, we're going to be 5 points away.
Yep.
Tom Brady and the Buccaneers offense has been completely inept in the last 20 minutes,
Yeah.
including 3 turnovers.
Agreed. Yeah.
I'm going to put my defense out there. I have the 2-minute warning because the guy who received the kick decided he was going
Slid.
to slide.
Bef-
Okay.
Yeah.
At 2:02. So we gave him a 2-minute warning and 3 timeouts.
So you gave him 4 timeouts
We
essentially.
gave him 4 timeouts.
Okay.
My defense has completely shut down Tom Brady the second half.
Why would you
They're,
put your defense
the
back out?
Bucs' backs are against the wall. All momentum is with the Packers.
Yeah.
So LaFleur says, I'm going to trust my D because Tom Brady's got nothing left going on right now. The defense came out. You guys are forgetting. They stopped the Buccaneers. But what happened? There was a pass interference, the very late call for pulling the jersey, remember?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All
All right. All right.
So
Here's
that they
the-
stopped them
can
and
I-
third down.
can
They
I-
called the pass interference.
and
they gave him a new
and
set of
that was-
downs.
So you're
and-
saying had that not happened,
That's it. They
it would have
get
been
the
a
ball
great
back.
defense.
Okay.
They would have got the ball
Yes.
back.
And I'm glad you brought
All right.
this up too, because a lot of people are forgetting about this. They did not call any pass interference that entire
They didn't call anything.
game. They called nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden there was a jersey pull,
It was
and
a
it
weak
got.
call.
And all right. So let me just throw a scenario out there.
Yeah.
Let me just say that I pull your jersey,
Right.
the back of your shirt. Which way are you gonna go? Are you gonna move backwards or are you gonna go forwards?
Well, come on.
You're going.
He's gonna go. He's
You're
gonna
going
go
backwards.
But, okay, but you're talking about guys full speed. The fact of the matter is if I'm running full speed and you grab my undershirt, which he grabbed, he didn't grab
Yes.
Towing you. I'm towing you.
I'm
Essentially.
pulling you. Yeah, because I'm running very fast.
Right.
And they're bigger guys.
But they're not gonna fall forward though. Come on. I mean, trust me.
He
I
didn't
wasn't good
fall
at. I
forward.
wasn't
He
good
didn't
at
fall forward.
physics.
Bro, he flopped.
Exactly.
He flopped.
And then
The ball was past him, and then it looked like a sniper from.
and
Call of
after
Duty
the
shot him.
exactly and
I mean, the guy went down like a heap of bricks. Tell me the guy didn't look like he get shot by a sniper.
no, it was 100%. It was a
sideways.
flop.
Yeah, I mean, my guy looked like
And then
LeBron James out there on the basketball court.
And then, yeah, and here's the thing too. It wasn't the side judges. It wasn't the.
It was the judge on the other side.
It was the judge who was 30 yards back of the
Yeah.
play, and he called it 5 seconds after the ball
Well after.
hit the ground.
well after.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm okay. I am completely okay with refs making calls. We have seen calls that have looked way worse than this.
Oh, sure.
A la
Yeah.
Saints and Rams.
Oh,
You remember when the
100%.
guy got?
The
You
miracle.
remember
Yeah.
when Goldberg put on
Pass
you remember when
interference
Goldberg
gate.
put on a
Yep.
Rams,
Rams
a
jersey
Rams
and
jersey
speared-
and speared the guy on the outside.
Yeah.
And nobody called anything. Everyone looked around like, okay, this is. I'm expecting Ashton Kutcher and Pranked to come in here because there's no way that this could have actually happened legitimately. The fact of the matter is you physically saw a pulled jersey, regardless of the effect and the theatrics that the guy did after.
Oh, it was a wonderful performance. It really was.
You can say we saw the pulled jersey.
Yes.
Oscar award
sure.
winner.
They say it every time. When you see a pulled jersey, 10 out of
Oscar-winning
10
performance.
times they are going to call the penalty, right? No matter if you see an arm hooked under for an offensive lineman, and the D lineman, even when he has no chance of getting the running, the D lineman goes holding, right? Because you know that they're going to flop backwards.
Yeah, of course.
The fact of the matter is they know that they can sell it. And when the jersey was pulled and my guy got shot by the sniper from Call of Duty and he fell down sideways, he should have fallen backwards, but he fell down sideways.
Three of
Obviously,
the referees didn't call it.
the guy said the guy can justify it by saying, look at the replay, look at the jersey. I'm okay with it. I would have liked to have seen the holding, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen other things during the game that I felt were a little sus. All I'm saying is we talked about LaFleur. We talked about the fact that LaFleur made a decision and he got killed about it. LaFleur made a decision. Analytics, gut feeling, I do not care if he literally put a thermometer in his butt and thought that the temperature told him to give the ball back. I don't care where he got that answer from. The fact of the matter is this. The Buccaneers had not scored. They had not scored more than 3 points in 20 minutes. Your defense has had 3 turnovers, had made Tom Brady look like he was scared to be in the pocket. You go and you put your defense on the field with 4 timeouts. 4. And they played the game, and it was the right call. That ref made a bad call on his end. It was a pass interference. It gave the ball back to them. They only had 1 timeout left after that.
And they ran the clock out.
And the game was a wrap. And the fact is, you are not, we say it all the time, even with the greatest shooters in the NBA, you can't give great shooters a second chance.
No.
They'll never miss.
No.
Right? They'll never miss. So you gave Tom Brady another opportunity to get
Can't
a first
do
down.
that.
You cannot do that. And that's what cost them the game. People who say LaFleur is the reason,
No.
you're a joke.
No.
You are
Absolutely not.
You are looking for reasons to be mad at the reffing.
Does LaFleur deserve just a little bit of the blame?
The whole team.
Yeah, sure.
Whole team. It's a team sport.
There needs to be some blame put on number 12 as well.
I'm okay with that. Now let me ask you a question, Danny.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
We saw a headline, right? That
Which one?
Aaron Rodgers, they asked him about his future in
Oh,
Green
God.
Bay. I
Okay.
heard a report that now Aaron Rodgers wants to renegotiate and get a new longer term
Oh, my
deal
God.
in Green Bay. So I ask you this. He's under the cap for $45 million coming up.
Yep.
He's 37, right?
Yep.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers had statistically his greatest year yet of his career.
Yeah.
Ever. You have Jordan Love sitting behind him. If you're Green Bay, what do you do, Danny?
I mean,
You definitely don't take a side like that.
you got to sign Aaron Rodgers. You got to sign him.
Wait.
If you're
Whoa,
Green Bay, you
whoa,
gotta sign him.
whoa.
Okay, tell me why. Tell
All
me
right.
why.
Well,
and
yeah, go
my
ahead,
point
go
is
ahead.
only because I mean, you sign him. I don't think you offer him immediately all the money that he's expecting to get, and I don't think it's going to be for the longest term either. I think you sign the guy for another 2 to 3 years with, back end loaded stuff. But that when you got Jordan Love, you got his replacement already there. He's going to be looking to troll whoever again to try to get money and put his name out there.
What if Aaron Rodgers says, I want a 5-year deal?
I don't think you could
What if
sign
he
him on a
says Tom
5-year
Brady?
deal.
What if,
No.
what if he said Tom Brady's 43 and Drew Brees is 42? I just put up my best season yet. I'm 38. Sign me 4 years. What do you do?
You said 4 or 5. I don't think you can do
4.
5 years. I don't think 4 years either. I think you got to sign him to 2 or 3 years. I think he's already past his prime, and he's. Do you think you sign him? You sign him for 5 years?
No.
No, right? Yeah, I think if you sign him for 2 to 3 years,
I say you trade him.
that'd be great.
You trade him. You drafted a quarterback in the which you moved up to get your
So you're gonna get compensatory.
future. And this is similar. Laser, exactly. You could still get $1.50 to the dollar for Aaron Rodgers. You can get a ton of draft picks. You could get a very good receiver, a very good running back, a good pass rush. I mean, so then
That's a good thought.
So then if you, let's say you do re-sign him, then what the heck was the point in drafting Jordan Love then in 2020? What was the point?
Is Jordan Love proven? I thought that was a stupid
What
pick to
was
begin with.
what was the point? Exactly. Was there a point to signing a quarterback in the
I have
first
no idea.
round?
I didn't like that. When you got 3 or 4 years left on Aaron Rodgers, I don't think you signed his replacement.
I don't know.
I mean, I like your point because if you do tournament, you get another couple first rounders, second round, a third rounder
Easily.
and you absolutely rebuild your team. And even if Jordan Love doesn't turn out to be the guy, you have a couple more picks to make up.
See now.
So I like your point.
See, in the offseason now, you have these big name quarterbacks, and I know you're going to be segueing into this, John. You have Deshaun Watson, and now you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who are wanting trades.
It really changes up the mix.
It changes up everything, and you know that some team is going to offer something like a Herschel Walker kind of deal
Right.
to get either a Deshaun Watson or an Aaron Rodgers on their team for 3 or 4 years.
I agree, and I made a point about that on Facebook actually the other day on one of my posts or somebody else's post. I think I was one of the Jets fans' posts. They were talking about trading our whole future for Deshaun Watson and another big quarterback. I think you got to build on that draft. I mean, after that Herschel Walker trade, they built through the draft immediately, and the Cowboys immediately had a dynasty. And I don't think it's guaranteed every time. But the more picks you have early on, the better shot you got. Am I wrong?
All right, let me throw this scenario out there for you.
Yeah.
The Jets obviously are the leading candidate, supposedly, for Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Let's say the
I
Jets.
don't know where you're saying that, but okay.
Well,
No,
it's,
so
no,
other-
it's down to well, right now it's down to
I
between
find-
the Jets and the Dolphins.
I just want to follow up with the Aaron Rodgers really quickly.
Sure.
Good.
You think Aaron Rodgers at his age and his contract yields any sort of draft value whatsoever?
I think he
For
does.
3 to 4 years, yes, absolutely.
Yes, I do think.
That's by the,
MVP of the league. You can.
by the way, it's an incredibly ridiculous statement to make because you're once again now trapped in the "what have you done for me lately?" And this is why the Packers.
Fair enough.
This is why the Packers
Okay.
are going to be in such a conundrum. The year before
They already are.
Remember the two
already
years
are.
the 2 years before that.
Understatement.
The 2 years before that, why did they draft Love? Because they felt that Aaron Rodgers was on the downtick and he was getting up in age, so they didn't have a choice but to get his successor. Aaron Rodgers now,
And he was unhappy with management.
and he was unhappy with management. So now this year, Aaron Rodgers plays way up, above and beyond.
Okay.
And now all of a sudden, you think that teams are going to look at that and say, okay, so I'm gonna review the last few years. I'm not getting Aaron Rodgers at 27. I'm going to review the last few years. He hasn't been the same quarterback, clearly. This year, he was above and beyond. But do I mortgage my future for 2 years, or do I maybe go with a shorter, a better plan if I'm going to mortgage my future into Watson? Now go ahead.
See, and now I'm hearing too also, and I've read on a couple Jets websites that the trade for Watson is going to be 2 1s, 2 2s this year, a 1 next year. Like they're going to throw the farm.
Yeah. So I don't
At
think
Watson.
that's going to happen. And we talked about that too. You told me that if there was a cap for 2 first round, they're going to want 2, 3 first rounders plus. That means maybe a second or a third rounder, and then somebody maybe from the defense. I don't think you can destroy the team and create more holes by filling one. I like that everybody thinks because he's a Pro Bowler, he's proven. Great. I like if you can get him for 2 first round draft picks and Sam Darnold, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, they're not going to
accept
trade
it.
Sam Darnold.
What I'm saying,
I don't think.
Well, listen, if you make a trade for Deshaun Watson, you can't keep Darnold.
Well, isn't he still under contract? He's still under contract for a lot of money, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you got to get rid of him. right? I mean, you're
Yeah,
not going to pay the two quarterbacks, right? Because then next year Deshaun Watson's you're gonna have to pick up his contract and you're gonna have to pay him too.
That's true. And
So
that's-
you're not going to be able. It's not feasible. So it doesn't make any sense the Deshaun Watson directly to the Jets. However, Matt Stafford is available. I don't think Matt Stafford is coming to the Jets, and I wouldn't. And again, you can get him cheaper and get rid of Sam Darnold and maybe a draft pick and still fill in your team with the draft. However, I think this is, if it does happen, and this may be far-fetched, but I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen. A 3-way trade involving multiple picks from a couple teams to Houston so that the hometown boy, Matt Stafford, goes to Houston, Watson comes to the Jets, Detroit gets draft picks, and Sam Darnold. I think that's the only logical way that if a GM can put his big boy hat on and put something together, it's going to take another team to be involved. But to mortgage the future for just Deshaun Watson, let's look at what happened when they got Deshaun Watson and tried to build around him and gave up their draft picks. Now look at them. They were 4-12 last year, right? So what is the Jets going to become the new Texans?
Maybe.
No, that doesn't make sense. Logically, I don't see Joe Douglas doing that. His historical picks and the way he manages the team and the organization and the talent on the team, I don't see him making that mistake. Just going straight for Watson and mortgaging the future. If you can get a guy like Watson, make a couple trades, and then pick up somebody, but you're not giving up picks plus Quinnen Williams or whatever it was that they had.
Well, that was the other player that was being proposed right there.
Right. They had it was a local reporter from the Tech that usually covers the Texans organization that made that comment. However, let's take a look at the first facts. John, is there a no trade clause still for Deshaun Watson, right?
Absolutely.
No trade clause. Deshaun Watson has talked a lot, liked a lot of stuff on social media. You know what? So have I. My friends have made fun of me for it too. Now, including John, right? Now, if he has not officially asked, he can complain about whatever he wants to the media. If he has not officially asked his team for a trade, what are we talking about, guys? The Jets fans need to calm down, slow the roll, reel it back in. There's still 3 months left. We still need to see what we can get for Darnold, see what we can build around, and see how many picks we can use. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense to mortgage the whole future for Deshaun Watson, and you still have defensive end to fill. You got a middle linebacker that may come back, may not come back. So you're going to have to fill that hole. You got, Marcus May, great. Love him. He played really well last year. We still lost almost every game, and he got burnt on the one play he needed to cover somebody. Come on. There's too many holes to fill. You need cornerbacks. There's no way you can mortgage the future if you're the Jets. If Joe D signs and makes some magic happen and you give up 2 draft picks, no problem, John, you're right. If there's 2 draft picks, it's a no-brainer. If it's 2 draft picks and Sam Darnold and maybe a second,
it's not going to be 2 draft picks, though.
I know exactly. I know that's obvious. It's not going to be. They're going to want a farm for him.
They're going to want Herschel Walker stuff.
Exactly.
You need 2 more linemen to go with Anthony Beck.
You need 3.
So you need
right side played well. What's his name? Played well, but he's still a turnstile. And you need 2 guards.
The Jets need everything. Okay, let's be honest. The Jets need everything.
That's what I mean. Well, it's not. I wouldn't say everything, but you got 3 guys, and maybe you get somebody back. You got maybe 6 guys. You still need the other half of the team plus the defense.
You need your new Bart Scott. You need your new Darrelle Revis.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. The only way you're going to do this through the draft.
You need your new Nick Mangold.
You need youth and speed.
You need a running back.
I'm actually okay with the youth that they have back there because we don't know due to the injuries. P. Ryan showed some flash. The other guy showed some flash too. I forgot what his name was. Young guy, but he showed some flash. Here's the thing. Any schmo can put up big numbers in a system with good offensive linemen. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we've seen it time and time again. If you remember,
Sanchez,
Mike Shanahan's system in the Broncos, every single year had a different 1,000-yard running back. Well after Terrell Davis was done, you put anybody and everybody in there, Willis McGahee, everybody, will rush for over 1,000 yards.
Right.
So the fact is you have the right scheme with the right offensive linemen put in place, good play action, you can have a running game that's effective. Mm-hmm. You need offensive line, You need another big pass rusher. Quinnen Williams is finally starting to look comfortable. He's looking good. And Saleh said that
He's gonna take it to the next level.
He really liked what he saw from Quinnen Williams.
Yeah.
By the way, I heard the interview that Saleh had with the Michael Kay show. Let me tell you, I have heard
All gas, no brakes.
I have heard a few interviews in my life that really made me feel as though I bought in wholeheartedly. Stevie Cohen's interview with the Mets.
Yep.
When I listened to it, I said, I am all in on this guy. And Saleh's interview on the Michael Kay show, there was not one question he strayed away from. He went at and the questions he didn't have an answer. He said, it's hard for me to answer this question right now. It is a great question, but I'm going to answer you in the best way that I can. He talked about Quinnen Williams being one of the players he loved watching and seeing. He said Sam Darnold had a lot in his mind that he had to look at and that he felt he could get a lot out of now. Could this be a lot of gesturing for trade, stuff like that? Yes. But Saleh strikes me as the type of guy that's no nonsense.
Yep.
He's just going to tell you
Hard-nosed
how it
football.
is. And I'll tell you what. He made another great point, which if you're a Jets fan,
Can't wait.
you have to feel good about this. The Michael Kay show said in the new era of the NFL, in the offensive-minded era of the NFL, everyone said defensive-minded coaches cannot be successful, right? So Michael Kay said, what do you say to those people who said that? And Saleh said, you know what? It's a great question to ask. I'm a little biased, but he said, I would assume that coaches like Bill Belichick, Brian Flores, Sean McDermott,
Yeah.
John Harbaugh, have all been, and he kept going down the list. Who else did he say? He said those guys,
He named like 10 guys.
and there was a few other. Oh, Pete Carroll. And he named a few others that were like Mike Tomlin. He named a few, like a couple more, and he said, I think they've done a pretty good job. So I'm going to be a complete head coach just because I was, and Joe Judge, he said he taught special teams. He goes, I'm going to be a complete head coach and I'm going to be involved everywhere. And when I hear that as a Jets fan, just as a fan of the game for myself, right? Like I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm a fan of the game. You're a Jets fan.
Right.
I listen to that and say, wow, this guy's got his head on straight. He's ready to go. He's ready to get to work. He's ready to dive into the trenches. He's got his cleats on. He's got his shoulder pads on and his
Mouthpiece
helmet
on.
He is ready.
Chin strap ready to go.
He's ready. And you know what I love about him too, how hungry he is. I don't know if you heard. The guy's got 6 kids with a 7th on the way.
Let's go.
And he's like the guy
All gas, no brakes.
who's hungry. And you could tell he's a family-oriented guy. And I love that, man. I love it, bro. And you can see. The last time I felt the Jets were really anybody was when Rex Ryan was there, and Rex Ryan has an actual identity to him, right? He's a player's coach. He goes in, he galvanizes the players, he changes the culture, and they win. Saleh, to me, he just makes me feel like he's going to do that immediately. He's going to connect to the players, and I don't really care. There's too much talk on the background of somebody, whatever he is, whatever ethnicity he is, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, dude. When this guy walks into that locker room, he could look like Oscar the Grouch. The way he talks and the way he presents himself, all of us would follow that type of guy. So getting past whatever the guy looks like or whatever his background is, you could clearly see he is the man.
He's the goods. He's the real deal.
Any Jet fan,
and I can't wait.
Any Jet fan should be pumped up. And I'll tell
Let's
you,
go Jets.
any New York fan should be pumped up with the fact that Joe Judge looked good. And Tom Thibodeau with the Knicks, he looks solid. And McDermott with the Bills, they look solid. Stevie Cohen with new ownership with the Mets looks solid. Cashman continuing to do exactly what he's done for the past quarter century and put the Yankees as perennial winners. They look solid. All New York teams really have a lot to look up
Yes.
to look forward to, and it's an exciting time for the New York market. God willing, it all comes into fruition. But guys, listen, we are here now at the tail end of an amazing show. Andy, as always, you surprised Dan today.
But
driving,
it was nice. Nice
driving
having you
3.5 hours. If anybody hasn't seen Andy Tuesday nights on Simply Sports, he dove right back into something he loved to do, and he goes on, he talks sports, he articulates his points very, very well. He really hammers home the things that he feels. I love listening to you, Andy, on Tuesday night. So tune in at any time you get to. He throws it right up on his Facebook, so he's easy to watch.
Great content.
Easy to listen to, great content. So definitely watch, Simply Sports with Andy Williams on Tuesday nights. Andy, is there a specific time?
7 p.m. is live.
Okay.
But, I always throw up the rebroadcast every single it's on my page, very easy to find. And very quickly before we go, this is the last time that I'm going to see you guys before the big game.
Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl 55. So you probably need a prediction out of me.
Let's do it.
So back in September, when you guys had Bro Fluent on, I remember I called in on the show. And I said very distinctly that it would be Kansas City versus Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. And each and every one of you laughed at me.
I laughed. I was
You
the
were
first
on
one,
the
Andy.
you were on the ground laughing at me, Daniel.
I was. Andrew?
I don't
Andy?
remember it. I don't remember it.
No, listen, I take it on the chin. I take it on the chin with the best of them. My apologies, man. You called it.
So here's my prediction for Super Bowl 55. Now, the over-under is at 56.5. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Kansas City is favored by 3 points. I've won the last 5 games going against the number. 7-5 against the number, 9-3 picking games. Here is where I lie. Tampa Bay 28, Kansas City 27.
Wow.
Tom Brady leads, wins number 7. Destiny is fulfilled. And Tom Brady leads his team on a 2-minute drill to win the Super Bowl.
Never bet against Tom Brady. That's it. Period.
Listen, I understand that never bet against Tom Brady, but I think this team is too dynamic. I think the Chiefs win again, and they repeat. Like I said, week 1.
Well, you guys have another week to think about your pick.
Yeah. I guess the
Down
line,
here.
the line may move.
I don't have that luxury. I can't come down here next week as much as I would love to, but
No, but I think you called that. It was like week 2 or week 3. I mean, it was the week we were doing the fantasy draft. That's a good call. Good on you, bro.
We have a big week coming up next week. You want to know why?
Huge.
You want to know what next week is?
Talk to me, Goose.
It's the Super Bowl week.
You want to know what's on? You want to know what's on the Super Bowl week every single year?
Your birthday.
Commercials.
My birthday, kid.
Your birthday.
Oh, your
baby.
birthday.
So,
That's right.
So next week,
Welcome to
How young are you gonna be?
Welcome to my age.
I will be 35 years young.
You butts are
on
young
our
butts.
show next week.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a fun show. It'll be a birthday show, which is cool. And we'll get to talk about, going into the Super Bowl and amongst obviously many, many other things. I have a little bit of a fun idea that I may want to do next week. But Andy, thank you.
Let's do it.
Thank you for joining us, brother.
Absolutely.
And guys and girls, for everybody who tuned in today, which was a ton of people, man. Thank you once again.
Absolutely.
For riding out with us.
Mad love.
For anybody who we didn't get to, Johnny Butters, I do apologize for not getting to your call today, dude. We had
a
so
lot of
much
people,
on
buddy.
the docket, and we really do. Thank God, man. We've had so many people calling in the last couple weeks, which is incredible. Because the first few months we were doing it, we'd have to say the number for people to want to call, and now we have people
we're like
calling and
overflowing.
holding.
I love it.
So
I love it.
So what really needs to happen is we just need to get some extra time.
It's got to be because Andy's so handsome.
Yeah. And his head is very shiny.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
guys and girls, listen,
right.
thank you once again. You're gonna catch us here in 6
6
days,
days,
22 hours.
hours.
You're riding out here with the Dynamic Duo, listening on HamiltonRadio.net, simulcast on Facebook, soon to be Spotify as well. This is your boy, John Intel, with his partner in crime, Daniel Mercado, and the host of Simply Sports, Andy Williams. Guys and girls, MSR's out. We'll catch you later.
Thank you very much. Peace.
You're rocking with the newest radio show on Hamilton Radio, My Sports Radio.
Deals. And Bonds hits one high.